back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a tutorial of this here hairstyle. If you're coming from my TikTok page, welcome. If you are not new here and have been here, hey. First off, I'm here acknowledging the camera quality, but I didn't film in landscape, so allow me that one. Allow me that one. But today is a pretty exciting tutorial because I have been asked on my TikTok page to recreate this Pinterest inspired hairstyle that I found. And it was honestly quite easy, quite simple, at least for my level of doing my own hair. Um, so it was simply just like flat twisting the front sections and then just letting the rest of the back be curly and in somewhat either of like a puff or a bun form. So I will say I did prep my hair the night before, did my wash day, deep condition, and did put leave-in. But I thought it would be easier for me to just go ahead and refresh my hair all together, put them into 4 sections, especially the front two, because those are the 2 sections that we'll be working with in terms of flat twisting. Now, with this hairstyle, you could do regular flat braids, like cornrows with the style, but I decided to do flat twists because it's a lot simpler for my hair. It's a lot loose, so not so much tension going on. So that's where we decided to go in that direction. Now, as you can see, I just split my hair, just trying to figure out how much hair actually I want sectioned in each place. So I just did a straight line down the middle just to ensure I have enough hair at the back for a nice little puff, but also enough hair in the front for me to be able to flat twist and make these all nice and clean.
Convict music. See, I can kinda recall a little ways back. Small trying to ball, always been black. And my hair, I tried it all. I even went flat, had a Gumby curly top and all that crap.
Alright, so everything's nice and even into fours. The back I just split into fours so that I can either decide to do one big puff or 2 puffs. I'm gonna start with the left side of my hair, and I thought I was parting correctly, but obviously I wasn't. So you'll see further in the video that I'm calculating, trying to figure out if I need to do diagonal, if I need to do vertical. There was some mathematics going on in my head, but you'll see later in the video that I scratched it and decided to re-center it. But in this situation, I just wanted to make sure how big of the twist that I wanted. Wow, my words are hard today. How big of a twist I wanted with each section. So um, you'll see later on again. I had to repart it correctly, but in this situation, I just wanted to see how big of a section I wanted for each twist. Now I'm gonna take a moment for the Doux because the Doux what it do. I grabbed the Most Def Mousse in my local beauty supply store. I had the sample size or like the travel size at first just to see what we were working with, but I said let me just go ahead and pull the trigger on that full bottle, and I did. So as you can see here, as I mentioned, I went ahead with the diagonal part. I want to say this was probably at like a 45-degree angle. Don't quote me because I'm not that good at math, but I wanted it to be diagonal enough where the part is not in the middle, as you can see. So I went about it multiple times to just make sure it's straight. Disclaimer, I recommend using a rat tail comb rather than a wide comb. I couldn't find mine for some reason, but I feel like a rat tail comb is more precise than a wide tooth comb, so please use at your discretion. But went ahead, parted the front side, and then sectioned off the right side of my hair. Keep that out the way so I don't end up borrowing more hair than I need to from that side.
With the press and curl, age 8, I got a Jerry curl. 13 and I got a relaxer. I was a source of so much laughter. At 15 when it all broke off. 18 and I went all natural. February 2002, I went on and did what I had to do. Because it was time to change my life, to become the woman that I am inside.
So now here's where we get into the nitty-gritty of things. We are going to split, like I said earlier, I measured just to see how big I want each section to be in terms of my flat twists. So this is where we go in one by one to ensure I keep it that same size that I wanted, same sections. So with the front, I twisted off the other ones, did this one, and added the mousse as well as a lot of water. I wanted it to be a situation where I have some slip going on, so that's easy for me to maneuver my hair in between the twists, and it also stays moisturized while in the twist. And here's where we get into the motion of the flat twist. Now, in a later clip you'll see soon, I'm going to explain more in detail of how I went about the over and under situation. So what I essentially did, just to give a generalization of what's going on, I split my hair into two, or that section into two, and just did an overlap one over the other. Now it does require one to be mindful of like finger placement. So in this one, I just try to imagine if I'm like twisting my hair, just like regular, like 3-strand twist or 2-strand twist, but of course flat on my scalp. But again, in about like 3 seconds, you'll see what I'm talking about. So as I said, I split my hair somewhat into two, and I started with the bottom hand first in terms of getting the twist started, and I simply put it over my top index finger, my top hand index finger, and let it grab it and pull it to its own side. Then I take my top hand, the and the hair that's in that top hand from the bottom hand that I handed off, I tuck it underneath the bottom half of my hair that I'm passing down to the top part of my hand. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So my finger also right there is going to go in that gap that my top index finger created to pull out more hair as I'm twisting it back to the bottom finger. Well, let me try and explain it again. So that bottom hand takes hair and twists it over the top index finger. See where my top index finger is? That's where I put my bottom index finger to grab more hair from the other side and pull under. So it's more of an over under type movement, but you have to think you're giving your top hand hair from your bottom hand. And then as you're giving it, you'll take that index finger into that gap where your top index finger is and pull with it. So it's again an over and under motion. I'm not an expert, so my explanation might not be the greatest, but I slowed it down in this clip so you could see also those three remaining hands or fingers at the top are also helping to grab hair like the index finger is. Clamp, there you go. And then from there, you continue that over and under pattern. As I mentioned, those three other fingers from the top hand are essentially helping the index finger on the top hand as well to just grab and kind of detangle as it goes on. Please feel free to scroll back and watch it in detail because I know my explanation might have been a little caca. But we're going to repeat the same to the other three sections, split that off, split the hair into two for the most part, and then do the whole over and under method.
7 dreadlocks all gone. I looked in the mirror for the first time and saw that, hey, I am not my hair. I am not the skin. I am not your expectations. No, no. I am not my hair. I am not the skin. I am the soul that lives within. Good hair means curls and waves. Bad hair means you look like a slave. At the turn of the century, it's time for us to redefine who we be. You can shut it off like a South African beauty. Got it on lock like Bob Marley. You can rock it straight like Oprah Winfrey. It's not what's on your head, it's what's underneath. And say, hey, I am not my hair. I am not this skin. I am not your expectations. No, I am not my hair. I am not this skin. I am the soul that lives within. Who cares if you don't like that? With nothing to lose, one another by their appearance. Yes, India, I feel you, girl. Now go ahead, talk to the rest of the world, cause that's the way I wear my hair.
So as you can see, I finished off the left side of my hair. I'm simply going to repeat the same thing to the right side of my hair all the way from the top process. So splitting it into three, figuring out how big I want each section. Then I go ahead, spray it, add the Mousse Def, go ahead and rake that through, split that section into two, and go about the whole over and under method. Now, I will say it is a little bit harder to do it on the right than it is on the left for some reason. I don't know what it is. Maybe because I'm twisting in an opposite direction that I'm not used to. But it's still the same over and under with the bottom hand feeding the top hand, and the top hand also like raking or detangling as it's being fed hair from the bottom and vice versa. Um, and then also once you get towards the end of that twist, you just twist regularly, twist the ends a little bit just to seal it. Again, same process. Now that we've got that out of the way, this is where the finalized part comes into play. We just start to decide if we want to put the hair in one puff or two puffs. I used my extreme wetline gel and edge control to slick them down. I changed my mind um mid hairstyle and decided to do one big puff rather than two. Just a lot easier for me. Whatever you prefer, you can do two like the picture. I just did one. So I took both the edge control that I had, rubbed it together, slicked it down the back of my hair. Then I also went in later with the gel, same thing, slicked it back through my hair. I don't know why I used a tiny brush like that. I couldn't find my big version of it. Do as I say, not as I do. Get a bigger brush to slick it down because that small one did not do the job.
Make me a better person. Does the way I wear my hair make me a better friend? Oh, does the way I wear my hair determine my integrity? I'm expressing my creativity. Breast cancer and chemotherapy took away her crown and glory. She promised God if she was to survive, she would enjoy every day of her life. Oh, on national television, her diamond eyes are sparkling, bald headed like a full moon shining, singing out to the whole wide world like, hey.
I think another reason why I decided to do one puff instead of two is because I wanted it to give a more full look at the back. So with me splitting it into two, it wasn't giving as full as I wanted to, considering that half of my hair on each side was flat twisted down. So that's why I went with the one in the back. It's cute that way. I liked it. Again, when it comes to me and my hair, I like to add a little flair. But if you've got thicker hair than me or did not section off your flat twist as big as I did, it'll definitely be good to do it into two parts. And to top it all off, a good hairstyle is not finished without some laid edges. I barely got some, as you can see, but I said, why not? Let me lay a little bit of them baby hairs down. I actually was doing this hair for an event that I had later on, and when I tell you, I was so proud of myself. I don't think I really got compliments on it, which is fine. I'm not mad. It is what it is. But I did get glam just to make sure, I liked my hair and that it did what it needed to do. So you'll see in a couple minutes that I, did my makeup, put on a little fit, took some pictures, and honestly, I think I did pretty well. Now, of course, I had to put on a silk scarf to make sure my hair laid down for the back part and then also the edges as well. And then, of course, I topped it off with some oil on my scalp. Shout out to Camille Rose because that is growing my hair like no other. And I appreciate the fact that it does well with slicking everything down. So it helps with slicking the edges down, also helps making sure my scalp is moisturized I like good jobs. And this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this tutorial was helpful. And hopefully I'll see you soon on my next video. Mwah.